Hi everyone, my name is Henneth and today I will be showing you how to install XAMPP and also configure it. So I'm not going to explain much about what is XAMPP and all those stuff. I believe that we all know what is XAMPP, but to those who do not know it, I can say XAMPP is a local server that enables you to create your websites or other applications locally in your machine. You can run it locally and then create a website and see if they are functioning perfectly in accordance to what you want, and later you can then publish them onto the live server, or if you have a domain you can go on onto publishing it there. But if you are interested in creating websites, maybe you want to create some content management systems such as like Joomla, WordPress and also Drupal, I will advise you that you can go on onto installing XAMPP. It's helpful if you want to create those. So I'll show you how to install XAMPP and also how to configure it, and later I am going to show you, maybe on the second video, I'm going to show you how you can then install one of the content management system and also how to build a content management system website. So let's get started. What do you need? It's the installation file. So if you don't have it, you can go on onto downloading it from internet. I myself already have it on my desktop, so I'm going to run this. But if you don't have it, you can go to internet and just type XAMPP server. When you type XAMPP server, then you are going to, okay, you can just choose the first option. With this first option is going to give you the installer. You can download the installer, and then you can choose if you want for Windows or you want for Linux or for OS. It's up to you which operating system that you want. But I want you to be mindful of one thing when you are downloading XAMPP. Take for instance, you want to create a website in Joomla content management system. So the latest version now is at 5. So if you want to create a website in Joomla content management system, of which the latest version is 5, and then you must be mindful of the PHP version here. Take for instance, if you go for PHP version that is 7, then you are not going to be able to run your website. It's not going to be compatible. So yes, you must be mindful of the PHP version when you download XAMPP. We are going to use XAMPP for Windows. The one that I'm going to use, as I said, I have it on my desktop. It's going to be version 8.1.17. So let us go on and to installing it. I'm going to run this as an administrator, and then I'm going to say yes to this one, and we wait for it. Let us be patient a bit. Seems like my machine today is running slow, so we can just wait for it. Okay, now it seems like things are working. So you can go on this one. You can just continue with the installation, and then you just say yes, next, next. So this one, it's up to you. Let's say you are having 2 drivers on your machine and your local disk C it's full, then you can change it, and then you can just say browse and change to local disk D. It's not going to be a problem. You can also run it in D, you can run it in C. So at the moment I'm not going to change anything. I'll just continue the way it is. Choose the English language, and now we can start installing the package. Okay, now we can go on to finishing the installation. Okay, we have successfully installed XAMPP, and now we can see that we have the control panel. Now look at this, it says it's version 3.3.0, but then remember what I said about PHP version, so it says it's 8.1.17. So what we need to do now, let's say now we want to create our website. The important thing here is the services such as Apache and also MySQL. So once those services are running, now we can go on and to configuring our XAMPP. What do I mean about configuring our XAMPP? So here's the thing. Once you have MySQL running, you can go to admin. Under my admin, that's where you are going to see where your databases are going to be placed and everything. We can see that we have the default databases in here, so you can check this later, the database server, web server, everything that we are having, and the documentation. But what we're interested in at the moment, it's the databases that we are going to have in here, or the databases that we are going to create. So but then this control panel at the moment, it's easily accessible, of which it's not a good practice if you're a programmer. What we need is to create a password for it, so that when you click admin every time you want to access your databases, or you want to access phpMyAdmin, when you click admin it should give you a password. So we are going to set a password. We will start by setting a password. To do so, you go to user accounts. When you go to user accounts, you will see that you are using a localhost one. The username is root, and then localhost name is localhost. Or the host name, I mean to say, it's the local host. But if you check the passwords in here, it says you're not using a password. To have the password, you can go on and to saying edit privileges. So when you edit the privileges, you will see the change password. You can enter the password that you want. I will go on and to entering the password. And then we confirm the password. And then I say go. Once you have confirmed the password, you will see that there are changes in here. Those changes, what they are saying is to say, at the moment now, because now my control panel is using a password, I cannot be able to access phpMyAdmin at the moment. But this is not really an error. Don't worry about it. As I said, we are going to configure it. What it's saying is this one: I am trying to access phpMyAdmin, but the access is denied. Why? Because now I am using a password. Now I am using a password. I've configured it to use a password, but the configuration file, it still knows that it's not using a password. So we go on and to saying, we click config. Let us use this config instead, the Apache config, I'm sorry, Apache config. So you see here phpMyAdmin configuration, then we click this one. Once we click it, we are going to get a file that deals with phpMyAdmin. So what we are going to change is this one from config to a cookie. So this is going to be a cookie, and this is going to be false. We are going to use this as false, and then you go on and to saving this file and close it. Then go back, you stop your Apache. You can also stop MySQL, and then you run them again. Once you run them, let's go and refresh and see what's going to happen. You can see now that my PHP requires a password. So remember, the default username is root, and the password that you are going to set, once you enter the password and say login, now you are able to log in. That's the first thing that you need to do. But now We are not done when it comes to the configuration. Let's say now you want to create a website using a content management system, such as like Joomla. As I said, you want to run a Joomla website. When you install those websites, there is what we call a maximum execution time, of which at the moment it's less. And if you run it and it takes time, it's going to throw an error saying that you have exceeded the execution time. So what we need to do at the moment is to go to our file. Remember, you can go to this PC. Okay, you can go to local disk C and then locate the name of your XAMPP. Remember when we were installing, I said it's XAMPP. So you go onto it, and then when you go onto it, we are looking for PHP folder. Once you get PHP folder, then now we are looking for the init file, php.init file, php init file. So this is the file, php init file, and then we can say open with, at the moment we can open it with notepad, because we don't have notepad++. We can just go on and to opening with notepad. So you can start searching for maximum. You can say max, it's fine. So under the maximum, what we are looking for, it's the maximum execution time. Maximum execution time. Maximum execution time. So at the moment is set to 120. Go on and to changing it to 600. And then you also need the input time. The input time. So you can search for input time, of which it's 60. We change it to 600. And we also need the memory limit, because sometimes you will need to import databases. Let me show you here. If you have databases that are created, momentarily it seems like we don't have databases, but it's fine. If you have a database that is created, you want to import it. Maybe it's from another development environment and now you want to import it. When you import it, remember it's going to give you an option to choose the file. So here we have the maximum size of the file. If we don't change this, you might find that your database is big. The script for your database is big, so it's going to throw an error. Hence we check the memory limits and the post max size. So we're going on and to changing the memory limit, memory limit. So at the moment is set at 512 M. We can go on and to putting a large number such as like 1024 M. And we also need to change the post max, the post max size. And we are going to change this to 1024 as well, and then we save our file. When we save our file, do not forget to stop Apache and also MySQL, and then start them to see if they are working. So thank you guys for watching my video. On my next video, I'm going to show you how then you can create website inside using this XAMPP server. I'm going to show you how to build a website using Joomla content management system. Do not forget to like and also subscribe. Thank you very much guys. May you enjoy your day further.